All right, we are starting very strong, bro. I keep doing all right every single time. It's like ingrained into my skull. Okay. Shambali Monastery between LogiSwords and Rush Hour. So the last time these two teams faced off, it was a map fiver, barely going the way of Rush Hour. So I'm expecting more fireworks here today. Our second matchup between these squads, and if you're Logi Swords, if you're Logi Swords, you want to win this desperately because you just saw Notif Unks beat AI um, in their outside division matchup 3-1. So that squad is hot on your heels behind you. Their map differential is only one map lower. You guys have the same record. You need to be winning every match from here on out if you want to keep your spot in the playoffs against No Defunks. No Defunks in a tight playoff race with Logi Swords near the end of this season 2. More drama, more parity than last season. Last season was very obvious by the end who was going to be in that finals match. Here, considerably less so. It's not even obvious who's the playoff teams at this point. Um, well, three of them I feel like are pretty much confirmed, but between Logi Swords and um, what's the other squad? Oh my word, what is the other squad's name? Bruh. No Defunks, excuse me. It is actually very tight, so see how this goes. Junker Queen able to trade out. Hanzo getting traded. Reaper versus Soldier here. Reaper just kind of sitting in front. That will result in a Team 5 victory for Rush Hour. They are moving this payload. Last time these two teams faced off, it was a 3-2. The same exact rosters. Nothing has changed. So if you expect history to repeat itself, Rush Hour should come out on top barely. But at the same time, it's up to the luck of the draw of the maps at this point. I think either team could come away with this. I kind of want Rush Hour to come out on top, just so there's drama between No Diff Unks and Logi Swords near the end of the season, like a lot of drama. We'll see, though. Okay. Soldier able to take out a few. Reinhardt getting the queen. Looks like this push is starting for Rush Hour. Logi Swords a little bit on the back foot here. Not quite getting into it just yet. Squad, they push to the limit in week 1 of Overbots. Zarya is going to come back. I don't know if she is going to go down to contest. However, they do have spawn advantage now. Soldier should go down here. He's getting very low. The Bastion, or not Bastion, the Baptiste, excuse me. A lot of series today. Throws out the lamp. It is going to go down, and Soldier as well. However, Hanzo's going to get traded out after the Junkrat comes up the stairs, and Bap going to get the queen on the back foot. However, Bap is super low. He is going to get out with his life, though. Huge fire strike coming through from the Rhine. He is doing a good job just staying alive. He's going to back off. Back to the payload. Going to regroup up top here. Okay, Zarya and Junkrat fighting, and that is just very quickly going in the way of the Soldier and the Rat. Reaper's going to step in that trap, and that's going to spell disaster for him. Rush Hour not stopping very much on this monastery. Not a good sign if you're Logi Sword so far. Gonna start pushing that payload. 3 on cart. 4-minute time bank to work with. Zarya does not use her ultimate, so even though she has it, chances are the ultimate won't be popped. Can she block this with her bubble? This is going to be huge. Okay, so instead of having to block it with her bubble, she just destroys it. They do get the contest here, however... Oh, that's probably it. Yep. Big pin coming in from Rhine. It's going to result in an easy team fight victory for the side of Rush Hour, and they are just cruising in Shambali right now. Their chances of winning this map go considerably up. I wonder what this guy's name is. I wonder who all these monks are. Because I'm sure they're not all Zen. Gotta be one of the other monks, right? Okay. Rhine's dead. Terrible pin by Rhine is going to result in the first team fight victory here for LogiSwords, more than likely, but a couple picks go in the way of Soldier. Not going to matter too much, though. So they do fight through it. LogiSwords get a team fight victory. He's got to feel good, although the 4-minute time bank is daunting to subtract from at this point. Especially with the Rhine ultimate coming up, as well as the aimbot. Misses the pin on the easy pin target, and that's a huge anti. Going to result in a LogiSwords victory. Going to eat up some more time here. The threat of the triple shotgun gang coming through as Reinhardt falls. Good start to a 4-minute hold. It's going to be necessary to win this. So we know Zarya will not be popping that ult, so they'll have to win this with only getting the Reaper ult as well as the Queen ult. The Queen ult is very powerful, though. It can easily win a whole fight. Hanzo able to pick off BAP. That is a good start. Reaper going to pop his own ult. Will eventually get that Rhine. However, Junkrat is still alive. He does kill the Queen and the Hanzo. Gotta be worried about the Rat. He does eventually back off, though, realizing he can't quite win that. So a minute knocked off the time bank here. Or another minute. I don't remember if they came in with 5 minutes. There's just so much time on the clock. Okay, Reaper able to avoid the pin. It's a good start to this fight. However, unfortunately, that is a huge shatter. And here comes the aimbot and the tire. They don't really need all these ults, but they are going to invest them regardless. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left here. And your chances are dwindling if you are LogiSwords. You won a couple fights here on this third point, though. So you at the very least have that to go off of. Zarya's going to be back in here. Queen's coming back. So is the Reaper guy. Zarya's going to get that bubble on herself. She's going to sustain through that damage. Going to barely live. Queen's going to find the first pick. Hanzo's going to get the Soldier on the back line. And very good team fight victory here for LogiSwords. They might be able to just do this. Gonna pick up that Junkrat as well. Hanzo putting in some serious work. They did lose a series today already. LogiSwords did, I believe, right? They lost, didn't they? Am I tripping? Did they lost to Moldy Milkers today, I believe is what happened. Yes. Hanzo in the back line. He does fall to the BAP. Very good target priority there from the Baptiste and the Soldier. However, they are going to lose their BAP and the Rat. So now it is a 2v2 on point. 2 tanks against a Soldier and a Rhine. Soldier and Rhine putting in the work. Can they push the payload, though? No. Going to go up for this Hanzo. He wants to 1v1 him. They're not pushing forward this payload, though. I don't know why. Will eventually fall here. Rush Hour going to get on this payload finally. Probably going to push it to the end, but remains to be seen. They almost have their Junker Queen ult, one of their most impactful ults, and one of their only ults that they actually do use. One of their 2 ults. The other one is the Reaper ult, which doesn't come in handy nearly as often, and that will instead actually just result in a full push here for Rush Hour. A lot of arrows in that Soldier down there at the bottom of the screen. Oh my word. Got brutalized. Okay. However, Rush Hour able to complete the map. 44 seconds on the clock. More than my team can ever say as a Blazing Magi. We completed a total of 1 map today, I believe. Still won the series. But, yeah, that is a bit rough. We didn't push through any of Gibraltar. Funny enough, the map that we pushed all the way through was the one we lost, and the one that we couldn't push all the way through was the one we won. So, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We won the series, though, so I'm not too disappointed. Would be nice to have a little bit better of a map differential, but I don't expect my squad to be making playoffs. We're in one of the hottest contested divisions with some of the best teams we have. It seems. No Devunks just beat AI, and that team is seeded way above, so. Alright, here we go. Rush Hour, LogiSwords. Second matchup against these two squads. They are going to blows with each other here. Let's see if the LogiSwords can have a better attack than they did defense. Two bubbles used immediately are not great. Reaper is going to go down to that pin. However, Bap is going to get traded out. And that is a 2v1 on point here, so LogiSwords able to probably just push through here, I assume. Ryan able to grab that health pack, but he will eventually follow the Hanzo. Hanzo steps in the trap, but he is going to start pushing this payload on his own while he waits for his team to respawn. He respawns for a Rush Hour, on the other hand, are going to take a little bit more time. LogiSwords slowly pushing through, trying to make it happen here. They can't go over the top. So, our next fight is going to be around here. The Rhyme Pin doesn't find anyone. Bap is going to be the first to fall, and that is not a good sign if you're Rush Hour. However, Hanzo also is going to fall. The trade favors Rush Hour now, and that'll be a quick teamfight win for Rush Hour. They are able to rout LogiSwords a little bit here, and Zarya is just dying, I guess. I don't know what that was. That was odd. So now LogiSwords just have to wait for their Zarya to regroup and go for another fight here. They are going to go up these stairs here. Gonna find this Junkrat as they come through this corridor. However, here comes the Rhyme Pin. It does miss its mark. The bubble is out on the Hanzo. However, Hanzo's probably going to fall regardless. Ryan's going to go down next, though. Can they get this Bap and this Rat? Oh, so actually, Zarya's going to be next to fall after the Rhine. Or Junkrat, I mean. Or, yeah. Wait, yeah. Never mind. Then a Junkrat falls. So 2-on-2 on point, and there is a tank and a Reaper against a Soldier and a Bap. Or, so that will result in the tanks winning that. The tankier fellows. They will finally start pushing the payload here. They waited a little bit after winning that fight, so I don't know if they're actually going to push it through yet. Question mark. We do have a couple ults coming through here too, and so now you got a little bit of regret. Especially if they could just drop down here. Here comes the Soldier. He is just on in there. He is going to die so fast. Never mind. Pin coming through. Huge pin. Reaper actually finding a kill with the Death Blossom. Rarity. Ooh, that's not good. Now LogiSwords only have a minute to contest this point and win. A bit of a misplay, not pushing the payload right away from the Soldier. I think they would have had it if, or not Soldier, from the, whoever won that fight. I think it was Reaper. I think Reaper and Queen were the last ones standing. So they didn't push the payload all the way in, and now they regret it because now this team is back and they have all their ults, and they actually use their ults. That pin is going to result in the Zarya death. Early Zarya death is not what you want to see here. You need a massive Queen ultimate if you want to push through this first point on Shambali. It's going to have to be something miraculous coming out of LogiSwords here. Zarya still coming back from spawn. Here we go. The fight is just breaking out over here. Reaper uses the Wraith form already. Here comes the charge. It does miss. Here comes the tire. Queen does manage to kill the tire. She kills Soldier and Junkrat. The BAP window comes out. Is it enough? Queen does go down. And that's going to be it. I don't think we're going to see a contest by the Zarya. Oh, we do. Did she push it in? Oh my gosh. She almost got it in. And she will go down. So, not able to get the job done. Rush Hour will take this first map, and it's not what you want to see for LogiSwords. You did make your first series against this team close, but losing this first map is not what you want to see. Shambali, kind of hard to push against a squad like this, though, especially when you have Zarya and stuff. Zarya is just like the natural loser when it comes to the Rhine matchup. Probably not helping very much there. Alright, next map is Dorado, so another escort map. Not exactly what you want to see in the lineup here. If you are LogiSwords, yeah, you want to see this map. Actually, I should turn back on... That's a good point. I should turn back on that map that I turned off because it was almost got played twice in the same series. I've turned off Route 66 and forgot to turn it back on. That is my bad, fellows. So there was no chance of playing Route 66, but now there is. Which is probably unfortunate if you're LogiSwords because you already lost on one escort map and now you're going to another one. Alright, LogiSwords will be on defense first. Series so far has been primarily escort. 2 out of however many maps we play are going to be escort at the very least. So we could see more escort too. Would be funny to have an all escort series. Okay. Junkrat gonna fall. Soldier actually managing to pick up. Oh my, Soldier and Bap working together. They find a few kills here. So even though it looked like LogiSwords were gonna win that, now Junker Queen just sitting on the payload here, doing a little bit of stalling before her team comes back. Probably gonna die here, but she does stall the cart for a little longer. Almost a minute off the clock, and they haven't even made it to the choke yet. Well, good little stall from Logiswords. Spawn camp. We should see them at the choke now. About 40 seconds gone, or 50 seconds, I mean. Okay, so this is where the next fight will take place. Junkrat getting very low. The wind, or the lamp will save him. However, Bap will be the first to fall in this fight, and then Zarya. Very good start here for the Rhine as he gets another pin, and that will result in a teamfight victory for Rush Hour. More than likely, just a matter of removing this queen. We'll push her into the payload for a little bit, so a little bit more contest coming through. Don't think we'll see another contest on this point, so 2 fights will get them through point A on Dorado. Usually see a fight, though, right at this gate, so I think they will just come straight into this and fight, just because they can. Zarya gonna get pinned into her squad. She does actually take out the Rhine, so winning that does mean they will get a little spawn camp started here right at 0.0 meters on the second point. So, good little start here for this AI squad. Soldier's going to be the first to fall here. Bap getting very low in the back line. He does get the pin from Rhine. Rhine able to take out that Zarya, but the rest of his squad isn't exactly around. Junkrat could win this, though. Comes out with a tire. Here it comes. Could get this queen. It will. And that is going to result in a teamfight victory for Rush Hour. 4 minutes on the clock as they are pushing through this second point. Hanzo just stalling out here, waiting for his demise. Actually doing quite a big job here as staggering. Might even get out with his life. Oh boy. I say that, but then he pushes right back in. Long pin. Sorry, you're getting very well charged, but she's just gonna die. She gets pinned. Silly matchup. Bap gonna get very low here. He's probably gonna fall. Yes, he will. Now there's only a few left on this payload. Junkrat getting low. However, they're able to deal with the Queen and the Reaper. Alright, here they come. Around the bend. Gonna see some sort of oh boy. Missed pin. It's gonna result in Rush Hour taking the second point, and LogiSwords, you are in dire straits of a 3-0 despite taking this team to 5 maps the first time you guys met up. Proof that any given Sunday, basically, this is like the NFL. It could go as good for you or as poorly as you, depending on the maps. So, LogiSwords just getting completely diffed in this matchup today. Don't know what the difference is between their last matchup and this one. Other than they are just getting escort, which I think favors, well, most likely does. Reaper gonna waste the ult. The Junkrat kills him with the killer stuff, and oh my word, the death passive. Bit ridiculous. They still do win this fight just because of how slow the bots are acting on the other side, and Soldier's just kind of standing there, but he definitely could have killed the Junker Queen if he just like had a brain. But no, instead we will expire some time from Rush Hour's time bank on that fight. Here they come. Charging back in is the Rhine. He does almost get the Reaper, misses the pin. Unfortunately, I think Rat is going to go down here, but 2 for 2 trade. Soldier going to get diffed by this Reaper as he kind of just stands there. And this will very likely result in a LogiSwords victory, as Reaper and Queen have just been kind of shutting down this corridor with their shotguns. Making life a little bit harder here for Rush Hour on this final point. They've had it pretty easy going up through the first 2 points, but now they have 2 minutes on their time bank left, and they have a full corner they have to wrap around here. Got to win at least like 2 fights. They win two fights back to back. Here comes the Rhine on the flank here. He has that shatter. You got to look out for it. He could just use it. He's going to pin in. He doesn't get anything. Junkrat's going to find the Hanzo though on the outside. Only getting the Queen with the ult, and Soldier's going to fall here despite using his own, and it's only Rhine alive. So this is more than likely another fight win for LogiSwords, and it's looking more and more likely that they could hold them on this 3rd point. Ryan's going to fall down here. Despite losing that first escort map, if you hold them here, you got to have a pretty good feeling about your push coming up, because all you have to do is get it right here and you could win. Fortunately, that Queen ult's not going to be online for quite a bit. Reaper almost online with his own. Death Blossom. Fortunately, Hanzo and Zarya just failed to use their combo at all. Baptiste going to be the first to fall here. Hanzo very, very low. Junkrat could fall. Hanzo still alive, just barely. All 4 members of LogiSwords currently up here, and it's looking less and less likely that you are going to be able to even take more from LogiSwords here. As 30 seconds remain on the clock, and Soldier getting whittled down by this Reaper. He is eventually going to fall to the trap. The Reaper will. But Soldier is going to die, as well as the Rhine, and this is looking more and more like this is where the payload is going to stop. I think we'll see one more contest here from this Rhine, but we have a Death Blossom online now. Now we won't even see that, I don't think. I don't think he can make it. So, that is where the payload will stop here for... Well, okay, Rhine. Really? That is where we will see the payload end here. LogiSwords putting together a solid defense on that 3rd point. Oh wow, you can't see the stats. Wait, what? Look at that. Queen with 22 elims. I didn't know you could see the stats like this. Can you always see the stat? Oh my word, okay. So Baptiste seems to be struggling. He's got 10 deaths. I didn't even realize. You just look at stats like this? Oh my word, I should be writing down all these stats at the end of matches. Oh well. I didn't know you could see this. This is awesome. Okay. Anyways. Have I just not been pressing tab? Have I ever done this before and just like not thought anything of it? Oh my word. Okay, so we can look at the good performers here. Junkrat Queen putting out an absurd amount of damage. She has 5,000 damage. Junkrat also putting out that much. Reinhardt putting out about 5,000 as well. However, 10 deaths by Baptiste. He is really feeding in this one today. He's not doing very much damage either. Soldier 76 is putting in very solid work. However, Hanzo, Reaper, and Zarya are also putting in about the same amount of work as that Soldier, and Bap is not putting in that much work. So, you know, Soldier 76 is almost matching the healing on your Bap. Okay, I'm kidding. He's not almost. But 1,000 healing is actually pretty good. Alright. Especially for bots. I think bots have lower stats overall, so makes sense. Okay. Junkrat gonna fall down immediately. LogiSwords coming out here with a vengeance. However, Reaper's gonna fall. And, okay, that's a good start here for Rush Hour to maintain their lead in this series. They don't want to get this to a draw. Junkrat is coming back. Don't think he will definitely not make it before this squad makes it. I will tell you that. Spawn advantage is massive here. Soldier's probably going to go down. Okay, Zarya's going to fall. So even though you're making some trades here, might not be enough to push through, as Junkrat is going to return here. So now you're stuck in another 4v3. Soldier should be back pretty quickly. He can run. Here comes the Rein pin. It does get the Zarya. However, I don't think Zarya dies. Rein getting very low. He's probably going to die. Oh, okay, never mind. Staying alive in the back there. Junkrat able to finish off that Zarya. Baptiste's going to go down next. Junkrat's going to fall. Reaper should be able to pick up this Rein. They do, and all that's left is this Soldier, as he just barely got back. But now he will be the last to fall here. More than likely. I'd have to assume anyways that he's going to fall here. Yes, okay. So will we see another contest coming out from... They're going back from Rush Hour. Remains to be seen. They are wrapping around this corner currently. Make sure the bots are on the right difficulty. Anyways, here comes the Rein. He's going to pin in. He does grab that Zarya. Goes very deep with her. She's going to have a bubble though, I think. So she stacks both of her bubbles. She is going to fall eventually. Rush Hour putting in some serious work here. Queen is eventually just going to fall over. Ooh, and they are going to fall. So, look at that. 1 minute and 40 seconds. So what a map that looks like it should be like completely in LogiSwords' favor at the moment is going the way of Rush Hour. Respawns coming in at crucial times here. So, oh, Soldier's probably going to fall here. That is a good pick, and Rein is pretty much out of this fight from how far back he is in the back line here. Let's see though. So they do clean up the BAP, so now all you have to deal with is this Rein and the Junkrat. And I think they will slowly but surely push their way through this point, and they should be able to grab this checkpoint before we get a regroup and a recontest. So it looks like LogiSwords will make it to the second point, which is solid for you. If you can get it to the third point, I think you'll win. The goal is getting that checkpoint, and a huge Queen ult is coming up here. We know how well she can use this ult, so huge tire, grabbing 2, takes that Queen ult off the board for the time being. Crucially, not holding on to your own ults though, so Junkrat using his ult. However, the Queen and the Reaper are going to hold on to theirs for at least this next fight. We'll see. So, they do get the Soldier with the anti. I don't think it's going to be enough to win, though, as more ults are being popped on the side of Rush Hour, yeah. So, ultimate advantage is far too strong, as they pop basically everything in that fight. Soldier, the only one to fall, as he did get hit by the anti of the Rampage. So it's going to be a little bit rough here, pushing forth against this Rhine team. Kind of one of their bread and butter maps. Having an escort with a Rhine, I feel like it's pretty good. At least in bots, not in real Overwatch. Okay, never mind. Rhine just got caster cursed him. Goodbye, Junk. Goodbye, Rhine. Goodbye, Soldier. Bap is next. Very clean team fight victory for LogiSwords, and they have a very good chance of making this a 1-1 matchup. Should be another contest about halfway through the second point. We will have to see, though, if they can make anything of this. They don't have any ults on the board. We have that Reaper ult online and ready to go. Here comes Ryan. He's going to probably pin in here on something. He is going to pin on that Zarya. Probably not going to pick up the kill. Should get her very well charged, though, if she lives. Reaper ult coming out. Not going to pick up anything. That is awful. Hanzo going to pick up 2 kills. Hanzo and Soldier 76 going to fight it out here. Reaper going to come in to third party that. And it is going to be just Ryan here. And he is going to fall. LogiSwords able to pick up another fight win. And they are pushing forward. They could get this checkpoint. I think the respawns are going to be on the way here. So Zarya and Junker Queen should be here for this next fight. Still regrouping. There is going to be one more fight here. So this is crucial. Can you win this in a neutral fight? That's a big pin. Can Reaper survive? He is going to survive barely. He gets out with his life. He's going to go to the health pack. Soldier is able to pick up 1 kill. However, losing your Reinhardt gives a chance here for... Never mind. That is over. LogiSwords could very well lose this map. Now, they need to regroup quickly and get in there for a fight. They are going to be up against ults, though. That is the main issue you are facing as LogiSwords. Zarya, I think, mistakenly pushes in here. I think this is just going to result in her team losing even more. And that is unfortunately probably where the payload is going to stop. I don't know. Actually, can we get a contest here? If we can get a contest, maybe. Jump down, please. No. If we had seen a contest, that very easily could have gone in LogiSword's favor. But now instead it is a 2-0 rush hour. And your chances of winning the series have just gone basically down the sink. You're going to need 3 back-to-back favorable maps. If another escort shows up, though, I think you are very well cooked in this series for the LogiSwords. Has been a rough series so far. Just not able to quite get the job done against a team that is seemingly better than you. We'll see how New Queen Street goes. If you can grab some momentum on this, maybe pick up a win. Maybe, just maybe, you will have a chance to turn the series around, but I'm not feeling it at the moment for this LogiSword squad. And it's looking like you are going to lose your placement as the 2nd seed. Of course, the other team hasn't yet to play their next match, so they could very well lose too. But they are playing against me, and I think they have a pretty good chance of beating me. So, unfortunately for LogiSwords, your squad is in dire straits. Their fate is going to be decided by my team. If my team can dethrone No Defunks, because last time we did get rolled by them, but our roster is completely retooled. We'll see. Oh, I don't want to be at your Soldier's POV. How did I get here? Excuse me. So, map 3. Currently, Rush Hour leads the series 2-0. LogiSwords have had it rough. Second time these teams have faced off. First time, like I said before, first time it was a 3-0. Or not 3-0, it was a 3-2 in favor of Rush Hour. However, this time it's looking like a 3-0 in favor of Rush Hour. Somehow, this other squad has just gotten worse. Alright. Comes the Rhine. He's going down the stairs. Gonna pin into a wall. He is gonna get a little bit evaporated. Goes down to half HP. Soldier's still alive. Rush Hour sustaining through a lot of this. However, yeah. Well, Hanzo's able to pick up 1, but not going to be enough. And here comes Rush Hour. They are proving why they are a top team in this league. And LogiSwords seem to have fallen off. You know, now that I think about it, I think in the latest patch, Orisa did just get buffed. So maybe that's why Notive Unks are doing a little bit better and they beat AI. And some other heroes, I think Zarya might have been at the hands of some nerfs. I can't remember. Hanzo hasn't been touched, though. He's not a very good hero overall. He should be getting buffs at some point. Alright. I'm sorry, getting half. And she's dead. Wowza. This is not good at all. If you are LogiSwords. This is not what you want to see, because you are just getting rolled on this last point. And this is very well just the series. This is probably a 3-0. So, you were close against this squad, what, 3 weeks ago? But now you are just getting completely rolled. Something must have changed in the patch notes or something. I don't know who got nerfed or who got buffed, but this is feeling very different. Doesn't even seem like you have a chance anymore against Rush Hour, as Rush Hour is just going to take that Zarya for a long walk off a short pier. Oh, okay. Some picks going the way. Junkrat able to pick off 2, though. Okay, so no man, look, so maybe I'm dogging on LogiSwords too much, but they were kind of getting rolled. That spawn advantage, though, for Rush Hour is going to come out huge here for this first fight, as Junkrat's re-engaging from the south, and yeah. Sorry, gone immediately. Reaper's gone after, and hey, Queen picks up the Junkrat somehow. Good for her. At least picking up a kill, so now it's a 3v1. It's because I don't know where Hanzo is, but he's surely not here. Dodging those fire strikes. However, I think she's eventually just going to fall. Maybe not. Hanzo coming in, trying to get some picks. Queen is going to go down here. Yep. And Hanzo fighting on point. Will eventually fall, and now Reaper and Zarya are coming back, but is this too little, too late? Yeah, it probably is. Reaper's going to fall. And the payload will continue pushing for Rush Hour as they dominate this squad who had them on the ropes in an earlier series. Looking very likely to be a 3-0 here. Rush Hour proving why they are one of the top teams in this league. Once again. Some ultimates online for LogiSwords, but I'm afraid we're not going to see most of them. Here comes the Queen ult. It only gets one, and uh-oh, Queen. Might get the Soldier, but oh boy, she's not even going to get the Soldier now. Oh, okay, well, the Soldier does eventually fall. Reaper ult's coming through. It's massive for LogiSwords. Gets 2. But man, you just gotta wonder, is this even winnable? They have 5 minutes, though. There's a lot of time to work with. But man, just look at the difference in meterage. You have 100 meters to make up. If you are LogiSwords, it's just not seeming doable at the moment. Especially with this spawn advantage that just keeps coming out. Comes the Soldier ult. Can he get anything? Not gonna look like it. Okay, LogiSwords. Sustaining through the damage. Gonna start making up some meterage here, but they need a lot. They need to do about the same amount of work that Rush Hour did in their last 5 minutes here. Sorry, it's just so far behind because of the spawn disadvantage. However, it's not like in the last fight. There was a spawn, close spawns for Rush Hour, so take a little bit of time for them to recontest here. Comes the Ryan, he's going to pin in. He does miss that pin. Sorry, he's going to be back here. Hanzo's going to get 2. Alright, Rush Hour making this look possible. Now with 4 minutes 40 on the clock, you could very well see LogiSwords catch up. Especially with these ults building up quite quickly for Queen and Reaper. Might see them use those ults again shortly. If they can get the lead again, though, or if they can't get the lead, I believe they could just win. So, but they have to get the lead. If they get the lead, I think they're going to win. But if they don't get the lead, they're going to lose. Easy. Obvious. I'm just saying that in general. So, like, I don't think Rush Hour will take back the lead if LogiSwords get it. Okay. So you will work with a spawn advantage since you got that first checkpoint. So that is at the very least the best thing you can say for this LogiSword squad. Now you are only down by 43 meters or so. However, you do lose your forward spawn. No team will have a forward spawn. That is a huge Queen ult coming through. Will result in a team fight victory, more than likely, for LogiSwords. That is huge. Gotta hope this Reaper ultimate is probably just as big in this next fight that you're gonna have to take. Because if you can get that, you might be able to take the lead. Two more fights are probably needed to take the lead. Maybe one. If you can get some good push here, you might only need one fight. It looks like they are getting some good push. Here comes Ryan. Gonna try to go for a pin here onto the Reaper. Does get the Zarya instead, but Zarya's gonna bubble herself. And our Hanzo. Hanzo quite low. And that is gonna result in a very quick teamfight victory going in the way of Rush Hour. So another spawn advantage fight will happen here for the side of LogiSwords. Gotta hope for this Reaper to put in some kind of ultimate. It's gotta be massive though, whatever it is. So sorry, he's gonna take a lot of the flak here. Here comes the Reaper ult. It is massive. However, the trades coming through from Rush Hour are enough to turn that. So what looked like a fight win for LogiSwords is turned on its head in Rush Hour. We're saying, nah, we're 3-0ing you today. We're not letting you get any maps. And LogiSwords, now you're looking a bit rough because now there's a spawn advantage coming in. And it looks like you're rotating around, which is not good. This is only going to serve to extend the lead of Rush Hour. Huge pin coming in from Ryan, but she does get the shout bonus, so they should be able to clean up these 2 kills, but it's not fun. This is not fun if you are on the side of LogiSwords. The spawn advantage is going to be there even when you pick up these kills, and you just lost someone, which means you will more than likely not have them for the next fight if you continue pushing the way you do. Hanzo's so far back now. However, you do have to worry about every single ultimate at the same time coming out from this Rush Hour squad. If they do come out, okay, I think they at least will take away the spawn advantage. So you at least have that for you for the time being. The Shatter is kind of massive, kind of not though. Soldier able to diff the Hanzo and the Zarya, and I think this is just going to result in a 3-0 victory for Rush Hour unless LogiSwords put together some sort of miracle to win this push map. Gonna have to see some Mickey Mouse gaming. Soldier actually getting very low. He could go down. He is going to go down. Reinhardt, the last one up, he is going to try to pin the Zarya. Doesn't quite get the kill, and he will go down. Zarya left at 1 HP. So now we're seeing a little bit of a chance here. Hanzo is going to go down. Unfortunately, that means you are down to a 3v4 in this next fight, more than likely. Unless Ryan and Soldier just kind of push in here, which they might. Could very well just be a feed. And it will be. That is not good if you are Rush Hour now. Because Hanzo will be back for this next fight. And you don't even have spawn advantage anymore. And Junkrat going down here is going to almost seal the deal, certainly, for this squad. I think this actually could just be a like they could just like come all the way up here and do this. They could. Alright, we'll see how this goes. Ryan coming in, no ults available right now because Ryan and Soldier are staggering in. They could just go down here. Ryan is going to fall. Soldier's going to go down, and suddenly, uh-oh. LogiSwords looking to make a comeback here on this push map. Comes the rat. Is he going to pop the tire? He's behind them, but he's doing damage. But Zarya is just supercharged. Oh my word, are LogiSwords going to do this? There's the line of victory. Ryan and Soldier are going to come in and stagger again. It has just been two squads of two staggering in repeatedly for rush hour, and this is going to a map 3 now? Or map 4, I mean. Never mind, Ryan died. Wait. They're going to lose this. They're going to throw this. LogiSwords are going to throw this. They're going to throw! No way! That's going to be a 3-0! That's a 3-0! Never mind, it's a 3-0. I thought LogiSwords, I thought I was going to have to keep going with this series, but no, LogiSwords. They push it all the way to the very end. And then they throw. Dying to Ryan right there is the biggest throw I've ever seen. That's such a choke. I mean, at first it was rush hour choking, but then it changed to LogiSwords. And that'll be a 3-0. That'll knock them out of the second seed for now, at least until this next match. So, well, we'll see what happens.